Hello there. Greetings from Pemberton, British Columbia, Canada. I just wanted to do a little video on my Jaguar XK8. Oh, a truck went by. Let's try that again. My Jaguar XK8. And it's a 1997, so it's the first year for this model. And I painted it myself in my driveway a French racing blue. You know, the nice thing about these cars is they're not $1,000,000 machines, so you can do stuff yourself, and if it's got a couple defects, well, who cares? It's a nice car. It's got about 150,000 miles on it, and I don't know, I just wanted to dispel some of the rumors about Jaguars. Sometimes people saying they're not reliable and all these scary videos that you see. Well, I've had quite a lot of fun owning her. She's been in the family for 15 years. My brother and mother used it a lot to go to Florida. They loved the car and they weren't too hard on it. It spent a long time in Florida at their timeshare over the years, and then my mom passed away and I ended up with a car. Probably because I'm the mechanical guy in the family. I always worked on aircraft throughout my career. I was a jet engine specialist for Air Canada Express and did a lot of stuff with aircraft engines. So this one came to me about a year ago now, and I really like it. I had 6 air-cooled 911s over the years and did a lot of maintenance on them. I rebuilt engines, I rebuilt transmissions, I did a lot of work in Thunder Bay on Porsches, because there was really no shop in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada in those years, and I was the local Porsche go-to guy. And when I got the Jag, I was a bit hesitant because I thought, geez, you know, they're talking about all this poor reliability, blah, blah, blah. But this one's actually one of the Ford years for the car, where they use a lot of Ford engineering and electrical system parts. So it doesn't have the Lucas electrics. It has a lot of Ford parts instead, and it does still have some Lucas in there too, but it's not specifically Lucas. I had trouble with it about 10 years ago when the family owned it, with electrical problems, limited power problems, part power, and I ended up changing the ECU. I got one on eBay, actually a service on eBay in California, where I took the engine control computer out and sent it down to a guy in California, and he rebuilt it and sent it back to me. And then I had trouble getting it running again after we installed the ECU, but then I learned that it had to be recalibrated, so it was done actually at Canadian Tire. They had spent a lot of money upgrading their computer systems at Canadian Tire, the diagnostic systems for import cars, and they were able to plug it in, do the updates, and after that it ran like a champion, and it has been running great ever since. Plastic water pumps are an issue. The impeller went on this, I think, on my brother coming back from Florida one time, going back to Ontario, Canada. Somewhere halfway he blew the water pump, the car overheated and stopped on the side of the road. And they towed it to the local garage and installed another water pump, which was aluminum, so it has been upgraded. And it's been very reliable since. And I think that's important to note, because people seem so scared of these cars. And I think of the 911s and how much maintenance I did on one of those. You know, I owned 6 of them through the years, all air-cooled. And how much maintenance I did on those things just to keep them going year to year. And this, by comparison, is a lot less. So I don't know why people are so negative towards them. Well, we'll just do this like cars and coffee, and kick the tires and take a look at the car and I'll give you some information that I know about them. They replaced the XJS Jaguar, and that was a long time running model for Jag after the E-Type, and they did it quite late. They were talking about doing it earlier, and they had one of the racing engineers that was racing XJS's. You can look him up online. I can't remember exactly his name, but he was kind of in love with racing the XJS and thought it was a pretty good platform, and he designed like a new Jaguar body basically to update the old XJS, and really wanted to do it and brought it to Jaguar back in the British Leyland days, and Jag said no, they just couldn't afford it, I guess, and they never did anything with it. And then his design ended up getting picked up by Aston Martin and became the DB7 eventually. And then when the DB7 came out and Ford bought Jaguar, and they also owned Aston Martin at the time, they said, geez, why don't we roll this design over and make a XK8 as kind of like a spiritual successor to the E-Type. So it shares a lot of the same lines as the old E-Type Jaguars did. I painted it French racing blue. It has dual exhaust in the back. I like the French racing blue color. It gives the car a little bit more pizzazz. So then after they kind of took the DB7 and then redesigned it in a way to make it look more like an E-Type Jaguar, and they wanted to have a spiritual successor to the E-Type. I think I mentioned that. Everybody loved the curves of the old E-Type, so they gave it the same kind of front end treatment as the old E-Type, which really looks cool on the car. The lines look good even today. People like it. Well, let's take it for a spin and we'll carry on. Yeah, getting in the car, it's in pretty good shape even after all these years. The seats and the leather on these wear quite well. So these are 5-speed automatic cars, and they have the Jaguar J-gate shifter. The J, of course, stands for Jaguar. And they're a 5-speed, and you can shift them like a normal automatic transmission on the right-hand side. And then if you move down towards the left and up, you can downshift them and shift them back and forth, kind of manually, like a paddle shifter, but incorporated on the stick shift. Okay, and it has a nice treatment on the dashboard. They call it the Spitfire wing dashboard, all laid out with beautiful wood, and the steering wheel matches. It's quite the creation, and the styling is old school, but nice. People enjoy it, and it's very plush in here. And it's a great car for comfort and speed. I'm not going to go through all the gauges and buttons and so on. There's lots of guys doing that online. Okay, and we're going to start it up and get on the road and take it for a bit of a run home. Well, we're underway, just cruising down a nice B road here in British Columbia. And that's what they're really great at doing. As well on the highway, they're a really smooth cruising car. Compared to, say, the 911, they don't handle as crisp as the old 911s did, but then they're a lot smoother to drive in, and it's quite comfortable compared to a 911, which is really not that comfortable. It's more sporty, a more racing car feel to it. This one here is got a nice suspension. It's supple, but it's smooth, and it runs really strong. Like you can feel the bumps, but it's not bone jarring. It's got very smooth suspension compared to the older 911s. I know I keep comparing it back to the 911, but unfortunately that's really all that I'm used to. I like it a lot. I really love the smooth ride that it gives. It's very comfortable for long trips. You can take it on the highway, and it runs super fast with a 5-speed automatic. It can keep up to modern traffic, no problem, and the engine's not over revving. It's got a V8 engine and had a double overhead cam V8, which is a Jaguar engine design. It was built by Ford in the same plant as Ford, I should say, one of the English engine plants. And the same engine was later used in Land Rovers, and this is a 97, like I said, so it basically is a 4-liter engine, and they upgraded them to 4.2. The 4-liter, the early engines, they say they had problems with Nickel treatment on the cylinder walls. I think it was more a problem with the sulfur in the fuel than the Nickel itself, but this one has never had a problem with Nickel. The cylinders are holding high compression even today. It's got lots of performance. There's no blow by, no oil smoke, and it just runs like a champion. I'm going to put it in sport mode. There's a little button down here by the shifter, and that reprograms things in the transmission. And I'm going to floor it here for you and take a listen. Okay, we just went all the way up to 150 kilometers an hour there, and it was a couple of seconds. As you can see, this is real time, and I don't like the speed too fast on these roads. They're country roads, sure, but there's still school buses and kids that live on these farms out here that are coming home from school around now, so no point putting them at any risk or danger. The scenery out in BC is just beautiful, and like I say, it's a really fun cruising car driving. Up ahead you can see Mount Currie, British Columbia, so we're just north of Whistler, about 45-minute drive north of Whistler, Blackcomb area, which is a big ski area in British Columbia. So I guess that's the kind of thing you do with these kind of old Jaguars. You can cruise in them and enjoy them for what they are. I'm not into modifying it. I like to keep everything stock, so this car is completely stock, and I think 290 horsepower in the early 4-liter engine is quite enough power. Of course, the sky's the limit. You can get more powerful versions. They make one with a supercharger, basically the same supercharger that was on the Ford F-150 Lightning pickup truck. It was later on installed in the Jaguar, I think the next year. This is a 97. I think by 98 they had the supercharged models out, and you can tell them apart basically. To look at them, they have little vents on the hoods. Alright, well, we stopped here in a sunny spot just so you can see the color a little bit. It's a lot nicer, of course, in the sun. It really pops in that blue French racing color. I really like it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go! Whoa! Well, we're coming up to the town of Pemberton, and I'm going to put my camera away so I can keep my eyes on the road. I hope you liked the video. I might add some more information to it, pass the road test when I get back to the garage. Alright, enjoy the ride. I hope you enjoyed the ride. Okay, well, we're actually going to end the video at the Pemberton Airport. I kind of got sidetracked. Such a nice day. I came up this beautiful roads here to the airport and looking at some of the light aircraft. There was a Cessna 140 just taxied out. So it's kind of fun. There again, there's the car, and I guess to kind of summarize it, it's the kind of car that is a 156 mile an hour car. It's speed limited by the computer, and it's a kind of car that you can basically be doing 100 miles an hour in comfort with one finger on the wheel going down the highway if you're so inclined, compared to, say, the old air-cooled 911s. And I've had all the models up to a 964. And the 964, of course, is a lot smoother than the earlier ones. But basically, in comparison, you know, at 100 miles an hour, you got two hands on the wheel and you're steering like you feel like you're in Le Mans with a 911. And this one is just cruising down the road softly and comfortably and smoothly. So it's a completely different Gran Turismo ride that you get from the big Jag compared to the little 911s. So if you like to have comfort, if you like to have speed, if you like a fairly reliable car in terms of a sports car with Ford electrics, lots of following on these cars in the UK. People love them there. They're starting to be more loved in Canada too. The Americans, well, I'm not sure about them. They're, you know, those guys. But anyway, there's a lot of Jag clubs in the US too. So what am I saying? I think I'm just mad at Trump right now. So I'm being negative, which is not good in a video. So I apologize for that one. So yeah, like I wouldn't hesitate to get one. You can find them at pretty good prices right now. And, you know, why not? I mean, geez.